For us, it's been a really exciting day talking about the things that we love the most, which is education. And I do hope that y'all have some questions, but I can start with the first question, if you'd like. Are we all okay? Look at us. We're a big group. Hope someone takes a photo of this. So I'm going to ask the first question. What do you see as the biggest barrier to the adoption of education in the workforce? Take it away.
I'll start. One of the biggest ones would be upper leadership not supporting adoption, because that is a block for people to adopt it within an office and with the practice. Anyone else?
Yes, I would like to add something, and sometimes I think that business alignment and training it's one of the main important barriers, no? Because companies cannot find a real training program that address the specific needs of these companies, no?
And just to add to that, I think there should be a mandatory clause, forcing this education, because people will not upskill otherwise. You always assume you've got the skill sets, but things are changing dramatically and you need to refresh them. So a mandatory line in the contract, I think, would provide benefits and keep all these busy as well. Cheers.
Go on, lecturer, I have to have a go. I suppose, coming back to what you're saying there, I think there is a deficit of bespoke training available to employers in particular. Typically, employers have very specific needs. They have their own processes and they want to tailor towards that. The problem with academia in general is that we develop courses for the midline. We're trying to find that happy medium that satisfies the educational requirements and also meets the needs of the industry, and that's not always an easy thing to do. So I think that's part of the problem there. I think it's very easy to push this on either academia or industry. We definitely need to communicate more, and I think industry expectations also need to be shifted a small amount. I've sat in rooms with industry people just to try and gather this exact kind of information, and you'll get a few people in there and they will want some edge case piece of education added. I want to know how to use I don't know, Python in blah, 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 blah consideration. And they will keep hammering home. And as far as they're concerned, everything's a failure unless that's been addressed. And that is not helpful. We do need that. We want that engagement. Of course we do. I mean, at the end of the day, as academics, we serve the industry. That's what we do. We provide you with the people you need, but you got to help us in creating them. And finally, it would be good if we had better industry involvement in things. Come talk to us. All too often, we see industry rocking up to us at the end of a year or the end of a program to hire people. And, without being mean about it, they bitch and they whine that they don't get what they want, but they didn't get involved earlier. Stay with us through that journey. Students are on a journey from year 1 to year 4. Come in, play the game,
Sure.
Yeah, I also would add that you spoke about the curriculum mismatch and the need to update or make a institutional and industry effort to make sure that the curriculum is aligned with the needs of the workforce. I will also add that at the institutional level, the role that agencies play needs to be stressed more across board, as far as making sure that accreditation requirements across board include the technology requirements as part of the practice, and that hasn't been discussed a lot, at least in the United States. The use of technology and the application of technology as a requirement for accreditation is something that needs to be further discussed. as an industry.
If there's any questions from the audience? Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of answered my question with your statement, but what I was going to ask is how much is there an issue between that collaboration with industry and the school? What is the one thing that gets in the way of that happening? Is it just lack of communication from their side or other side? It doesn't really matter, but the lack of communication, or is it something else?
Okay, so I don't think it's... There's
Short
communication, there's
version.
communication, okay? I think there's often a problem with the communication or the communicator. You know, we have recruiters will rock up to us at the end of the year. They're working for a large firm, small firm, whatever, but their job is to go and recruit people. They are HR people, you know, and they're there primarily to do that. The people that we really want to hear from within organizations are the engineers, the architects, the people who are living the life and doing the day-to-day job. And those people are generally in huge demand and very difficult to get, you know, into a room for any length of time. We'll get them through various intergroups. You mentioned American Architects Institute, or we have similar organizations here in Ireland, Engineers Ireland, all the rest. They will come in. But again, they tend to be academic specialists, or they've taken on that specialization within the institute themselves. I really want to talk to the information manager as described. These are the people that I need to talk to in order to develop the most appropriate programs.
How we solve this? Yeah, can you hear? Yeah. How we solve this is bringing the industry inside of our classes, no? Because we bring the industry experts, what they are in the industry, to give these sessions, no? And I was quite surprised because just when I finished my presentation, I was looking at my LinkedIn, and one director from Sweco looked for my publication in LinkedIn that I was speaking here and asking for me if there is an open position to be faculty, no? And yes, there is, no? So this is how we solve this one, no?
And for me, as someone who's working with organizations every day to try to help them implement solutions, we often do trials with folks. And I have to be really specific with the people that are doing the trial, because engineers in particular are designed to pick on what's wrong in the program. That's their job. I have to remind them, take something you don't know. Look at a course with fresh eyes so that you can imagine as a fresh learner what you're learning. I don't want to know how you would fix my platform. I want to know what your learning experience was like. I want to know if you feel like this could help your people. And then, of course, it's why we have the generator. I had those 2 minutes earlier, you guys, that I gave to you, and it was my chance to actually talk about how we're going to start using AI in our course creation tool, which means all of us are going to be able to use AI in our course creation tools to eliminate some of those things that make it so difficult to make the bespoke training. We've addressed one of the big things by creating the generator. What we did was we eliminated all those questions around what should it look like? What's the delivery methodology? You don't have to answer those questions anymore. But the blocker that we continue to see is the industry has this desire to get their bespoke training out into the world, but there's a lack of time, and they get stuck on how to organize it, what the curriculum should be. And so that's how Global E-Training is looking to implement the AI, is it can help you organize your thoughts. And so once you've got that, then you're off to the races. So stay tuned to learn more about that. But we are listening when it comes to the ability for people to implement their own customized training into a platform without an extremely high cost, either in labor or in cost, in actual cost. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is a really interesting topic. We are not implementing artificial intelligence yet, no? But for example, for the final master thesis, when they are working a real project, we are bringing some artificial intelligence tools to apply there, no? But I think that, for example, Global E-Training has a great potential, no, to explore artificial intelligence, no, because it's everything online. You have a lot of data, Also, you can implement it. What we are asking to our faculty board is if they are using, what kind of tools they are using in their real jobs, and how we can use it to train our students. No, this is what we are starting to do. No.
It always comes down to that ability to be vulnerable and to ask the right questions and being able to listen to hear the answers, in my opinion. Yes.
Sorry, just when the conversation about AI came up there, I just wanted to, it just kind of sparked my own memory. One of the things that needs to be considered, especially when we're looking at bachelor's level, so level 8, we have fairly tight and well-robust programs already. And we're always being encouraged to put more and more into these programs. And I think the difficulty there is, if we put more and more in, what are we going to leave out? And this is often forgotten about this. So I think, and I think we've seen this as a general trend, that master's level is becoming the norm. And I think that's the opportunity to really do the specialist stuff. Because we do need to establish a baseline that works for a very broad range of candidates. And, you know, ditching one thing over another, and even, you know, particular technologies, that all has to be thought about. I saw on one of the presentations there reference to machine learning and AI. And yeah, absolutely. And these are things that I'm interested in, and these are things that I play with. However, I can't put that in a classroom beyond the very cursory. For the simple reason that that's computer science. Welcome to it. You know, that's a whole other program and a whole other degree. So we just need to be mindful of that too.
I think also as we should not understate the role that owners and clients will have in the future of requirements as they mature in what they can ask for architects and designers. And it's going to be less about, and I'm talking about training on the job for standardizations. I think as owners become more sophisticated in what they want to ask and their facility management becomes more robust, then it's not so much about what the company does to train somebody and make it productive, but also how you can make them quickly adopt and learn the systems required by the owners. And I think we're seeing that transition. And so as you know, as you were speaking about facilitating training on the job, I think we also need to start facilitating training for an owner and how to make that fast and seamless. Yeah.
As the topic of machine learning comes in, I think you can use AI to really generate content. But there's other aspect to it with things like ChatGPT and other things. We have technology that can analyze what is going wrong in the projects. And it can highlight that these are the topics which are creating most inefficiencies and issues, which can then feed into the topics that need more coverage in the training courses.
That's a great point. Is there another question from the audience? Well, then I'll have a question. What do you think the future of BIM and the digital twin in the terms of ecology? What can we achieve if we work together? What do you guys all think is possible maybe in the next 2 years and maybe in the next 10 years?
No, I'll just speak about kind of. I thought it was interesting that we ended up on the education stage instead of the digital twin stage. So I was like, what did we learn in this whole process of building, 35 million square feet of digital twins, which doesn't necessarily speak to the ecology necessarily, but is about the aspect of there might not be a tool or a technique or something that you've learned that is directly applicable. And you need to kind of find your own solution based on the stuff that you have learned. I mean, I didn't learn Revit until it wasn't covered in my master's level architecture program. And there was nothing about anything BIM related at all. We learned to draw, this wasn't that long ago. but it was, you know, and that there was really a learning process and an inquiry process about what data do we need to show, and what is it that we're trying to kind of capture, and kind of learning our own solution. You know, we kind of knew a framework of what it is we were working toward, but then it was, in some ways, we just kind of had to invent our own solution. So, I guess that's the bit where I think that maybe what we did, you know, N-Circle and we were together, speaks in some ways to an education philosophy, which is that's less prescriptive and is more kind of concept based, so that you can come up with a solution that maybe at the moment doesn't exist. You know.
I think there's enough momentum already to adoption of digital twin, and every company, everything is talking about digital twin. But the biggest change is now companies are realizing that all this data is future gold mine with machine learning. And I think that is going to just keep on increasing. And it will also impact in the way we interact with the data. It's going to become easier. Right now, we see all these complicated dashboards and everything. It just becomes too difficult to navigate. But I think, short answer is it is going to increase, but it is also going to become very easy to interpret all this data in a user-friendly manner.
Anyone else want to comment?
Well, yeah. I think the near future will see a explosion of a system of interconnected platforms in the cloud that welcome open workflows. So no matter what tool you use, these tools, my hope, and I think the vision of Autodesk is also aligned with this, is to have a way to allow AI to make predictions based on data that flows seamlessly between different cloud subscriptions and platforms. And I hope that the future gets us there faster, because I think we want to secure the ability of AI to make accurate predictions, not in closed systems like Autodesk has done traditionally, but more an open ecosystem of talking platforms. And I hope to see that coming up soon. With the latest release of Forma and Autodesk, it's a proof that you can start doing that on a platform basis. Yeah.
I'm going to go straight for controversy on this one. I'm not entirely convinced digital twin is what we should be calling any of this. I think digital twin gives connotations of virtual environments and, you know, a jump into virtual reality, which is somehow going to be 100% replication of the real world. And I don't think that's helpful. So I don't think digital twinning is a great way of describing this. What we're looking at here is something different, something very different, which goes straight to what you're talking about in terms of open connected data. And that's really what we're interested in. And when we talk about the use cases and the value that digital twins can offer, it's always built around what you're going to do with that data. What are you going to build on top of it? What information you can extract from it? And it doesn't need to be a three-dimensional model or anything like it. What it needs to be is a data set which is accessible and hopefully in real time. Now, one of the things that go hand in hand with the likes of digital twinning is going to be things like IoT technologies. You know, the Internet of Things, which was really, really big and then just went poof, you know, but it's there. And we are seeing IoT technology in deployment all over. It's just not being talked about in the way it once was. So, you know, look, I've been around the block a few times, and I have seen the buzzwords come and go and all the rest. And I think what we're going to see is something develop. I would really like to see that term digital twin just die away. I would like that to become something else, which is more descriptive of what it actually is, which are open, collaborative, connected data sets which are accessible and can be interrogated to build applications on top of. So, I mean, I don't know where it's going to go.
You'll have to come up with a better name for it, but I think we do agree with where you're going with that. That's our time. Pardon? An acronym. Oh, yeah, that'll work for sure. That was wonderful. Thank you so much to all the panelists today, everyone bringing their passion to the table. I'm really thrilled to have had the honor to present to you all today and to share thoughts and ideas with everyone. And I hope you all have a really safe journey home wherever that is.